Everyone wants more money, but few understand why it keeps slipping away. The harder you chase it, the faster it runs. True wealth doesn't come from obsession with money. It comes from mastering your mindset, your habits, and your purpose. This book isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about transforming your relationship with money forever. Once you stop chasing it, money starts chasing you. Chapter 1. The Money Trap. Most people spend their entire lives running after money, yet very few ever catch it. They believe that if they just work harder, make more sales, or find a better job, then finally they will be financially free. But the truth is, the more you chase money, the more it eludes you. Money has an energy of its own, and like anything that is chased too aggressively, it runs away. This chase creates a mindset of scarcity, a belief that there is never enough. You become addicted to the pursuit, not to the purpose. You work more hours, take on more stress, and fill your mind with anxiety about what you don't have. But wealth doesn't grow in fear. Real prosperity grows from clarity, confidence, and calm. The wealthy don't chase money, they attract it. They build systems, value, and trust. They understand that money is a tool, not a target. The first step in escaping the money trap is shifting your mindset. Stop asking, how can I make more money? And start asking, how can I create more value? When you create value, money follows naturally. The poor chase paychecks, the rich chase purpose. Chasing money without purpose is like running on a treadmill. A lot of motion, but no progress. When you stop focusing on money as the goal and start focusing on growth, contribution, and excellence, you begin to magnetize opportunities that bring lasting wealth. The money trap ends the moment you realize that the true currency isn't cash, it's mindset. Chapter 2. The Illusion of More Society constantly tells you that happiness is on the other side of more. More possessions, more income, more followers, more luxury. But the illusion of more is the greatest thief of peace. You see people on social media who seem to have everything, and you begin to believe that you are behind. You compare your chapter 1 to their chapter 20. You buy things you can't afford to impress people you don't know. You work for money, but money begins to own your mind. Real wealth, however, is invisible. It's not in what you wear, but in how you think. It's not in your bank account, but in your ability to create, to focus, and to stay disciplined. The illusion of more keeps you trapped in a cycle of never feeling enough. You make more, you spend more, and your satisfaction disappears faster than your paycheck. That's because more doesn't solve internal emptiness. Inner peace begins when you define enough. Wealthy people are not necessarily those who have the most, they are those who need the least. Simplicity is power. When you stop chasing more, you free your time, your focus, and your soul. You begin to see money as a servant, not a master. Chapter 3. The Psychology of Wealth. Your financial life is a mirror of your mindset. If you believe money is evil, you'll subconsciously reject it. If you believe money is scarce, you'll always struggle to keep it. If you believe wealth is created only through luck, you'll never act with conviction. The psychology of wealth begins with belief. You must believe you deserve abundance, not because of luck, but because of discipline, contribution, and value. The poor focus on income. The wealthy focus on assets. The poor think about spending, the wealthy think about multiplying. The poor see money as something to survive on. The wealthy see it as energy that can be directed toward creation. The biggest difference between the poor and the rich isn't intelligence, it's how they think. When your mindset changes from scarcity to abundance, your behavior changes automatically. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop wasting and start investing. You stop chasing and start attracting. Real wealth is mental before it is financial. Learn to think like a millionaire before you ever earn like one. Chapter 4. Build value, not excuses. The surest way to wealth is through creating undeniable value. Money doesn't flow to need, it flows to value. If you want more income, increase your impact. Too many people waste years waiting for the perfect opportunity instead of mastering their craft. And they say, when I have more money, I'll start investing in myself. But the truth is, you must first invest in yourself to make more money. Wealth grows where skill and persistence meet. Those who win are not the smartest or the luckiest. They are the most valuable. They develop expertise that others depend on. The rich don't chase opportunities, they create them. You attract wealth when you stop thinking about what you can get and start thinking about what you can give. The world rewards contribution, not complaints. Excuses kill growth. Every minute you spend explaining why you can't is a minute lost from building what you can. If you want to stop chasing money, focus on solving problems that others avoid. That's where fortune lives, in the space between discomfort and courage. Chapter 5. The Art of Financial Discipline. Discipline is the bridge between desire and success. Without it, even the smartest ideas collapse. Financial discipline isn't about restriction, it's about direction. You don't become rich by making money. You become rich by keeping it and multiplying it. Every dollar you earn is a soldier. If you send it out without strategy, it dies on the battlefield of impulse. But if you give it purpose, it brings back more soldiers. The wealthy are not necessarily those who earn the most, but those who manage the best. Saving, investing, and budgeting are not boring tasks. They are acts of power. They show the universe that you respect abundance. Most people lose money not because of low income, but because of poor habits. They let emotions control their wallet. When they're sad, they buy. When they're happy, they buy. And then they wonder why their bank account never grows. Mastering your money starts with mastering yourself. Every financial decision is emotional before it is logical. Learn to delay gratification. Learn to say no to temporary pleasure for long-term power. That's the real secret of the financially free. They act rich long before they look rich. Chapter 6. The Illusion of More. In a world driven by consumerism, most people believe that happiness lies in having more money, more possessions, more recognition. But the truth is that more is a moving target. The moment you achieve it, it shifts further away. Malcolm explains that this illusion keeps us trapped in an endless race. You buy something new, feel good for a moment, and then the satisfaction fades. True wealth, he reminds us, is not in accumulation, but in appreciation. When you stop chasing more, you begin to see how little you actually need to feel fulfilled. The discipline of gratitude and simplicity is the first real step to financial peace. Chapter 7. The Energy of Money. Money is not evil, it is energy. Malcolm emphasizes that money reflects the energy you project into the world. If your actions are rooted in greed, fear, or desperation, your relationship with money becomes toxic. But if your energy is grounded in service, creativity, and purpose, money flows naturally to support your mission. He teaches that you must stop using money as a validation tool and start seeing it as a tool for creation. When you work with passion, integrity, and focus, financial rewards become a natural outcome, not the primary goal. Chapter 8. Building value, not status. Many people spend their lives trying to look rich instead of becoming valuable. Malcolm challenges the reader to shift from status building to value creation. Wealth that lasts is built by solving real problems and improving people's lives, not by chasing luxury or image. The author gives real-life examples of entrepreneurs who started with nothing but a burning desire to serve. Their success came not from obsession with money, but from obsession with mastery. When you focus on being the best at what you do, money becomes a side effect of excellence. Chapter 9. Freedom over fortune. What people truly seek is not wealth, it is freedom. Malcolm explains that money is only valuable if it buys you time, peace, and autonomy. Yet most people sacrifice all three while chasing it. They trade their best years, health, and joy for a paycheck, only to realize too late that they've been running the wrong race. He insists that financial freedom begins when you control your desires and expenses. You don't need millions, you need less dependency. Simplify your life, reduce your obligations, and you'll discover that freedom is far cheaper than fortune. Chapter 10. The Power of Detachment. One of the book's most profound lessons is emotional detachment from money. When you depend on money to define your worth, you lose control. Malcolm compares money to water. It flows best when you don't try to grasp it too tightly. The more you chase it, the further it slips away. Detachment does not mean apathy. It means working hard without fear, giving generously without expectation, and trusting that abundance will follow. This mindset transforms how you make, spend, and attract money. You stop being a servant to wealth and become its master. Chapter 11. The Myth of Overnight Success. The author destroys the fantasy of quick riches. Success that lasts is never built overnight. It's built through patience, consistency, and resilience. Malcolm shares how society glamorizes instant wealth but hides the years of struggle behind every lucky break. He teaches that chasing shortcuts leads to exhaustion and disappointment. The key to wealth isn't speed, it's direction. Walk slowly if you must, but never lose sight of the path. The slow, steady builder always outlasts the impatient dreamer. Chapter 12. The Inner Game of Wealth. Money management starts in the mind. Malcolm explains that your financial results mirror your inner beliefs. If you secretly feel unworthy of wealth, you will unconsciously sabotage your success. If you fear money, you'll repel it. True abundance begins with inner transformation, replacing scarcity thinking with abundance thinking. The author provides practical mental exercises to rewire your mindset: daily gratitude for what you have, visualization of purpose-driven wealth, and affirmations that connect money with meaning, not ego. Chapter 13. Invest in yourself. First, before investing in markets or businesses, invest in yourself. Malcolm emphasizes that your skills, discipline, and creativity are your greatest assets. Money follows competence. The best investment is not stocks or real estate, it's your ability to learn, grow, and adapt. Wealthy people spend time and money sharpening their minds, while poor people chase trends. He reminds the reader that self-mastery leads to financial mastery. Your bank account expands as your mindset does. Chapter 14. Service, not selfishness. In this chapter, Malcolm explains the paradox of prosperity. The more you focus on serving others, the richer you become, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. The universe rewards those who contribute real value. The richest people are not those who take the most, but those who give the most. Service connects you to purpose. Purpose creates passion, and passion drives progress. When your motive shifts from greed to giving, money flows naturally as a byproduct of impact. Chapter 15. Stop chasing, start attracting. The final chapter brings all lessons together. Malcolm teaches that wealth is not pursued, it is attracted. You attract it by aligning your actions, beliefs, and energy with abundance. When you stop running after money and start embodying value, gratitude, and purpose, opportunities begin chasing you. The chase ends and flow begins. The author closes by reminding the reader, you are not meant to live in pursuit, you are meant to live in creation. Stop chasing the money and you will find the life you were meant to live. Chapter 16. The Illusion of More. In a world that constantly screams for more, people lose themselves in a never-ending pursuit of something they cannot define. They work harder, chase faster, and expect that happiness lies on the other side of achievement. But the truth is that the illusion of more has no finish line. When you get more, you immediately want even more. The mind tricks you into believing that abundance equals fulfillment, yet the emptiness grows deeper. True wealth begins when you stop asking for more and start appreciating what already exists in your life. The illusion of more is a trap that steals your peace. It convinces you that you are not enough, that your possessions are not enough, that your life needs constant upgrading. But real success does not come from addition, it comes from alignment. When you align your values with your actions, you no longer feel a void inside. You realize that contentment is not the result of accumulation, but the reward of awareness. The most dangerous part of the illusion is how it manipulates your emotions. It feeds comparison, envy, and restlessness. It makes you believe that others are happier because they have more, but that belief is a lie. The people who have mastered peace are those who stopped measuring life through possessions and started measuring it through presence. Life's greatest luxury is not in owning everything, but in needing nothing. When you stop craving more, you begin to live deeply, intentionally, and gratefully. You stop surviving and start existing. You stop chasing and start becoming. That is the moment when you break free from the illusion that has enslaved so many. Chapter 17. The Power of Stillness. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of peace. It is the state in which you stop reacting to the noise around you and begin listening to the silence within. The modern world celebrates chaos and constant motion. People glorify busyness as if it were a measure of worth, but real strength lies in stillness. When you learn to be still, you discover a part of yourself that no amount of activity can reveal. Stillness sharpens your mind and cleanses your emotions. It reconnects you with clarity. Every wise decision begins in stillness because stillness allows truth to rise from the noise. It is not about escaping life, but about understanding it. The most powerful people are not the loudest, they are the calmest. They do not rush to respond or prove themselves. They act with purpose, not with pressure. Stillness is the birthplace of inner mastery. When you practice stillness, you begin to see how many things do not require your reaction. You realize that the world keeps moving, but you do not have to be carried away by its current. You learn to breathe before you act, to observe before you judge, to wait before you decide. In those pauses, you find your wisdom. Stillness teaches you that success does not come from speed, but from depth. A peaceful mind can solve problems that an anxious one never could. So be still, not lazy. Be calm, not indifferent. The silence you cultivate today becomes the strength that guides you tomorrow. Chapter 18. Becoming the Source. The final transformation begins when you stop looking for abundance outside and start realizing that you are the source. You were never meant to chase money, approval, or validation. You were meant to create, to give, to serve, and to grow. Money was designed to follow value, not to define it. When you embody value, money naturally finds its way to you. The most fulfilled people in the world do not chase, they attract. They attract because they operate from a state of wholeness, not from lack. Becoming the source means shifting from asking, "What can I get?" to asking, "What can I give?" The universe responds differently to both questions. When you give, you align with flow. When you only take, you resist it. The energy you release determines the energy you receive. If you operate from fear and desperation, life mirrors that scarcity. But when you move with faith and purpose, opportunities unfold in front of you. Becoming the source does not mean ignoring financial goals. It means pursuing them from a place of power, not panic. It means mastering yourself before mastering the world. You stop depending on external validation because your self-worth becomes unshakable. True success is not measured by your income, but by your impact. The world changes when you realize that you are already enough. You are already complete. You are already capable. You are the source of everything you seek. The greatest irony of chasing money is that the moment you stop, you begin to attract what you deserve effortlessly. Life rewards those who live from purpose, not pressure. So do not run after the world. Stand still, become the source, and watch the world run toward you. Chapter 19. Living with purpose, not pressure. Purpose is the compass that gives your life direction, while pressure is the weight that tries to crush you when you forget why you started. Too many people wake up each morning driven not by inspiration, but by obligation. They live under constant pressure to perform, to prove, to achieve. But a life without purpose feels like running in circles, fast, loud, and empty. Purpose turns chaos into clarity. It transforms every action into meaning. When you live with purpose, even your struggles become sacred. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "What is this teaching me?" That shift in perception changes everything. The difference between stress and strength is purpose. Stress drains you, purpose drives you. Pressure tries to convince you that you are behind, that you need to rush, that you must catch up. But purpose whispers, you are exactly where you need to be. When you act from purpose, time slows down. You stop competing and start creating. You stop begging life for rewards and begin earning them through service. Living with purpose does not mean you will never feel pressure. It means pressure no longer controls you. You may still face deadlines, rejections, or uncertainty, but they will no longer define your worth, because purpose anchors you in something bigger than success. It anchors you in significance. Every great leader, artist, and thinker found power not in chasing fame or money, but in serving a mission greater than themselves. Purpose gives you peace. It tells you that your path is not about having everything, but about becoming everything you were meant to be. Chapter 20. The freedom of letting go. Freedom begins where control ends. The final step in your journey to stop chasing money is to let go, not in defeat, but in faith. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means giving space. Space for life to unfold, for opportunities to appear, for your true self to emerge. The obsession with control is rooted in fear. Fear of loss, fear of scarcity, fear of not being enough. But life is not meant to be controlled. It is meant to be lived. You cannot flow if you are always forcing. The more you try to control every outcome, the more you suffer. Letting go is an act of trust. Trust in your path, trust in your effort, trust in the unseen timing of life. It takes strength to do your best and then surrender. Those who cannot let go become prisoners of their expectations. They live in constant anxiety because they try to predict everything. But the truth is, some of the greatest blessings in life come unplanned. The moment you let go of how it should be, life begins to show you how good it can be. Letting go gives you back your energy. It releases you from the illusion that you must chase, prove, and earn love or success. It teaches you to receive rather than chase. Freedom does not come when everything is perfect. It comes when you realize that perfection was never the goal. Life's beauty is found in imperfection uncertainty, and surrender. When you stop trying to control the flow, you begin to move with it. That is where real peace lives. The freedom you seek is not in the world, it is within you, and it has been waiting for you all along. Conclusion. You were never meant to chase, you were meant to create. The world has taught you to run after money, status, and approval. But your soul was designed for something deeper. True wealth is not in what you own, but in who you become. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. When you stop fearing, you start flowing. The moment you realize that you already have everything within you, life opens its doors. Do the work. Serve with love. Stay grounded in purpose. And remember, the richest life is not the one filled with possessions, but the one filled with peace.